you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm YouTube famous now. Famous now. Famous now. That's called the fade out, in case you didn't know. Anyway, did you guys ever make, like, incredibly stupid mistakes? I just did. I mean, like, really stupid mistakes. So I was going to the P.O. box where I got a huge box that I haven't been able to open yet from Oregon. So whoever you are from Oregon, you know, you sent me something very nice. Thank you. It's back there. And when I was coming to the post office box, I have to go through this huge area by this mall, which is, of course, like, always so busy during the week of Christmas. And, is that better? Yes, it is. So anyway, I was coming through and I was like, oh, when I go back, I'm going the other way. I'm not coming this way. And I was like sitting there listening to White Christmas by Darlene Love. Ah! It's my favorite Christmas song this year. I don't know why. I've never heard that song before. So if you guys heard it, it's like an old 50s version of White Christmas by Darlene Love, and it's kind of like very 50s sounding. I love that song so much. Every time it comes on Sirius Radio, and I love the Elf line. Do you guys know what the Elf line is? If you have Sirius Radio, it's channel 18, and people call into the Elf line and they're like, hi. They're like, this is Jody Josephson from Arkansas, and I just wanted to wish my family, little Susie, and my good Judy Tom, and whatever. I've lost it. A Merry Christmas, and I got a big surprise waiting for you. I mean, a big surprise, if you know what I mean. Merry Christmas, y'all. And then they like do that in between the songs. I love it so much. I've like been so tempted to call the Elf line and wish my family Merry Christmas, but let me just tell you, Alex hates Christmas music, because it doesn't mean anything to him, because he grew up in Venezuela. So all of this Christmas music he doesn't really like. Every time I get in the car and I'm like, oh, la, 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 he's like, can we please change it to an EDM station? And then my other family are so bitter all the time that they're like, I can't wait till Christmas is over. So I'm like, if I gave a shout out, who'd I give a shout out to? My good Judy Tanya, and she doesn't even have Sirius Radio. So anyway, I had such a good time with Tanya last night. So Tanya's son, who's kind of like my nephew, because I grew up with him, or he grew up with me being around since he was 3 or 4, and he's 24 now. So his girlfriend is visiting, and I'm trying to like edit details because I don't want to give away their confidentiality. But anyway, so I had never met her before, and she came for like 10 days, and they were sitting in the living room last night, and we all sat around, and Tanya and I were telling stories, like hilarious stories that had happened to us through the years. Is that not so much fun? Like when you get with your old friend and you like tell all these funny stories that happened. It was so much fun. And what's like so much fun about my friendship with her is that we like continue to create these like great moments together where we continue to have like fun. Like Tanya and I have just as much fun today as we did 20 years ago, like cracking jokes and getting ourselves in. We always like get ourselves into trouble. Like one thing that we used to always do, this is so funny, I totally forgot about it till this moment, was that like whenever we were like, we always 20 years of going out and getting fountain cokes at 11 o'clock at night, right? Well, there's always some kind of drama with police officers chasing people and stuff at 11 o'clock at night. And Tanya and I always felt the need to like find out what was going on. She sometimes would be like, drive by there like 10 times. I want to see what's going on. And I would go another time, Tanya, she's like, yes, I want to see if I know them who got arrested. Oh my God. Forever, I don't know if where you lived they had this, but forever there was this newspaper in Indianapolis, and it was called, what was it called? The Watchdog or something like that. And it was this cheap newspaper, and it cost like 99 cents, and it had every county in Indiana, and it had like everybody's mugshot who had been arrested that week. And underneath it, like this is so sad, like my picture was probably in there at one point when I got arrested, right? Back in the day, if they had the newspaper. It's called like the Friendly Watchdog, or the Neighborhood Watchdog, I think is what it was called. Anyway, if you want to know what I was arrested for a DUI, which I'm not laughing at, but the second part is funny. I had a fake ID and I used it. And so that was the year that the song Vogue came out by Madonna. And in my police report, it says that when the police officer asked me to walk the line, I'll never forget this, because I don't remember this actually happening. I will never forget it because it was read out loud in court with my father standing there. So the judge read the police report out loud, and it says when Officer so-and-so asked Mr. Monn, could you please walk the sobriety line for him? Mr. Monn responded by saying, walk it, I can vogue it. Vogue. My dad went, oh, Jesus. We were in court. He goes, oh, Jesus. Proudest moment of my life. But anyway, so, hey, if you can't laugh at your own life, like what? You know, you gotta laugh at your life a little bit, okay? Look at your feet. Feet are funny things. Look at your feet and tell me if life is not funny. So anyway, yeah, that was... I've been arrested more than once, okay? And it's all alcohol related. So you don't need to go digging. It's public record. I got arrested for that, and I got arrested for Class D felony for fraud for using a fake ID. It's a felony to use a fake ID. And I was so stupid that I gave my fake ID to the police officer. My friends couldn't even bail me out of jail because I was in there underneath another name. Like, how ridiculous is that? This is when I was 19 years old. So, anyway. I mean, that is the most idiotic move that anybody would ever make. I thought I was being so smart at the moment. I don't know why. Like, some of the decisions I made while drunk, I thought were really smart decisions. And then I look back on them, I go, how did you ever think that was a smart decision? Like, that's when people want to talk about how, like, drinking doesn't mute your decisions. Give me a break, right? Like, seriously. So anyway, Tanya and I would get these newspapers, like, once a week. They always came out on Tuesdays. And we would sit there in the car and just go over, like, everybody from our county and be like, oh, do we know these people? And let me just tell you what's really sad is that, like, I knew a lot of people that had been in there, okay? And, I mean, we're all a bunch of savory folk, aren't we? I feel bad for anybody that's had to go through that. I hope that we just all use them as consequences to turn our lives around and become better people. That's what I hope. So anyway... I remember when my dad looked at me when I was like I put my car in the ditch after like driving through the kitchen of Perkins restaurant. And then my dad comes out there and in the back of the car, he goes, treatment or jail, but I'm done with you. And I was like, I mean, I don't know. Like, we don't make a lot of smart decisions when we're drunk, like I've said. But in that moment, I knew to make the right decision. I knew, baby, this one ain't gonna make it in prison. I mean, let's just be for real. I was going to be somebody's love puppet, and it wasn't going to happen to this one. I mean, I knew it. I was like, I was not stupid. I mean, I think that's really, to this day, like, a lot of people ask me, like, what has been, like, a driving force between you staying sober? Well, now, 22 years later, you know, like, everything that I have is based on the foundation of my sobriety. Like, honest to God, like, Alex would be gone tomorrow. I mean, even though my husband drinks, he has heard enough horror stories that I know that tomorrow, if I said I think I could have a beer, he would be out the door. I mean, I don't even think he would wait to see what happened. He would just be gone. My family would have nothing to do with me anymore, especially my dad. You know, I would lose my entire career. I mean, everything would be gone tomorrow. And so, like, to me, that's why my sobriety is the most important thing in my entire life, and that I protect it at any cost. You know, there's recently been a lot of things said about me on the internet. I won't address them. They're all lies. And I'm sorry that, you know, 30-some thousand people chose to believe them. Okay? I think that the truth will, you know, eventually rise to the forefront, and everybody will see what really went on and be like, oh, okay, wow, we didn't give Peter the justice that he deserved. So it is what it is. But I will say this, there's a lot of things that have been said about me on a lot of social media and whatever, and some of it hurts and some of it I can laugh at. But nobody has yet come for my sobriety, which I really respect, okay? I think, like, if you're gonna come from somebody, don't do that. Don't do it for their mental illness. Don't come for them for this. Don't come for them for that. And, you know, like, that's the thing that I'm very, very protective of. So, I mean, I can excuse a lot until it goes there, right? It's like, you know, don't. Just... I've worked too hard for that. So, anyway, although somebody did comment on one of my pictures on Instagram, and they were like, this dude looks high as fuck. And I actually thought it was kind of funny because I looked at the picture, and my eyes were like, I was like this. And I was like, well, you do kind of look high as fuck. So, I mean, you can't be mad at somebody for saying something like that if it's the truth. I mean, if you look goofy as fuck and somebody says, hey, goofy as fuck, well, then you look goofy as fuck. Get over it, right? I mean, it is just what it is. God, all of it is just so funny to me. But anyway, I'm looking over here at this, like, sleep number bed. I want one of those sleep number beds so bad. I know I'm a number 69. My husband's a 96. Get it? Oh my Lord. Okay, so everybody says in my comment sections, let's just get this out, right? I cannot think of what the guy's name is. I need to look it up when I stop here in a second. But everybody asks me, it says in the comment section, I know this dude sounds like somebody. I know this dude sounds like somebody. I can't figure out who this dude sounds like. Who does he sound like? Okay? Listen. I don't love it, but I know I sound like him, okay? Oh, who is the guy? I gotta look his name up. Hold on just a second. Well, I'm at a stop here for a second. So it's the guy that was in Sordid Lives. He's real funny. He's a real known, he's a really well-known character actor. Leslie Jordan. Do you guys know who he is? Okay, listen, I don't aspire to be Leslie Jordan, but he is one of the funniest fuckers around. And everybody's like, oh my God, you sound like Cricket from American Horror Story, or you sound like that dude from Sordid Lives. I know it, okay? I can't help it. It's not like I desire to like look and be like him, but it is what it is. And I will say this, as far as a humor compliment, he is hands down one of the most hilarious people I've ever like seen in my entire life. And I actually think he's sober too. I think I read this whole interview by him and he's sober, and so for me it's like a huge compliment when people say that, but I'm like, oh my God, does my voice really sound like that? And then this guy yesterday, I want to give a shout out to somebody. Hey Mark, you know who you are. He tweets me a lot. He loves my videos. He's like really like been very supportive of me, so thank you, Mark. But he said something to me. He was like, have you guys seen the movie Sordid Lives? It's one of my all-time favorite movies. And he was like, if you say a line to me in your video by Leslie Jordan, I'll die, right? So Leslie Jordan in the movie Sordid Lives is a drag queen, and he has to go to the psychiatrist. He's in this like mental health hospital, psychiatry hospital, and a psychiatrist tries to come on to him to like change him, and he's so funny. He's like, oh Lord, no, oh no. But anyway, there's this one part when he's standing over he's trying to go back to his mother's funeral, who she's been like a bitch to him her whole life, right? And so he stands over her casket, and they show him like looking up, right? And he goes, bet you didn't think I'd make it, did you, mama? So there's your line, Mark. I love that movie so much. It's got Olivia Newton-John in it. It is such a fantastic movie. It's so hilarious. I actually think they made a musical about it, didn't they? Sordid Lives, the musical. Anyway, it's a fantastic movie. If you guys want to see a really, really funny movie, watch Sordid Lives with Olivia Newton-John, Leslie Jordan. There's some other famous people in it. I can't remember. But I love those small town, like kind of like country movies. Like, I can't remember what the other one is. It's where they all come home for the funeral. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And it's got Lloyd Bridges in it. Not Lloyd Bridges, Beau Bridges in it. That one was really good. And it's got the girl from the National Lampoon's movies, Beverly D'Angelo. Is that her name? Anyway, I love that movie. I can't remember what it is. I love those movies. Where the Heart Is. That was what I love. Billy Letts, the author. I've read all of her stuff. So, anyway, yeah. It's been like a wonderful day so far. I have a couple people that I'm meetings with today, and then I have my husband's Christmas party tonight. We're gonna party like it's 1999. Hoo-hoo. Do you guys know Prince songs? Do you know the Prince moves? Like, I would die for you, only if you want me to. I love Prince so much. Oh, I'm so sad now. Prince and Big Ange in 1 year. I mean, seriously? 2018 has to be a better year. It's been a wonderful year. Can you guys even believe that a year ago, I had no clue I would be on YouTube, and now I have 3 channels? What? Oh my God, I had no idea what I was doing 3 years ago when I signed up for this gig, did I? But I love it so much, and you guys make my life so wonderful, and I want to thank you for being part of the Wolf Pack. Thank you so much. That's WOOF, Wolf Pack. Not Wolf Pack, Wolf Pack. And I thank you guys so much for supporting me, watching my videos, tweeting me, Snapchatting me. It's so fun. I've never felt so loved in my entire life, and it just really feels cool to be included. And listen, I was never part of the popular group, and I was okay with that because I was part of the freaks and the geeks, and I loved that. So just when you come and watch my videos, just feel like we're all just part of the freaks and the geeks, right? And I think that's one of the coolest things. We don't have to sit at the popular table. We can just get to know each other and love each other for what we are, right? So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.